involvement because, women are also now leading many organizations, etc., and have to stay connected. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, okay. So I was reading an interview you had with Punch in October 2021, and you said that half of your vision for GAIA Africa is still locked in your brain. And I heard you about the tough situation that Nigeria has put you in. So I'm just curious to know, have you been able to bring any part of it to life?
Yeah. I mean, like day by day, yes. In the innovation that we, the things that we do, sure. But at the same time, the vision is not just for Nigeria. The vision is, for a wider, for the continent. And so, but in order to be able to do that, in order to be able to grow, you need lots of money. And it's very, very difficult to raise money for this type of business because, first of all, we are not a digital business, although we, have every intention of expanding digitally, right? So that's kind of like the next phase because people tend to think, so potential members tend to think that, if they're not in Lagos, for example, they will not benefit because they can't come to the clubhouse. But actually, the biggest benefit of being a member of GAIA Africa is the membership. It's that community. And so, if we can do a lot more online, then first of all, it's much easier to grow, right, to other countries. Actually, we haven't even grown in Nigeria. So let's even talk about, first of all, growing into Abuja, going into Port Harcourt, etc. And then, other parts of Africa. So very, very important that we go digital. So there's a plan for that, but we need to find plenty of money. And unfortunately, I'm sure you know that anything digital, anything is FX, right? And, first of all, we're so much poorer than we were, I don't know, a couple of years ago, right? Because
collectively, yeah.
When you think about how much you sort of made in 2022, compared when the dollar was maybe, what was it, 350?
And we were complaining at that time that it was high.
Totally. Screaming, not just complaining.
The travesty, what nonsense. There's nothing that I
now
can say.
We're at 15
times
we're at
3.
1500 plus. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So how, it's really not even just talking about how businesses survive, it's literally how do people survive day by day.
Yeah.
And because everything is so expensive, everything, you go into a supermarket, well, God help you if you do, because you'll probably be returning most of the things at the end of the day, like, sorry,
I'm sorry. And then you start going back.
It's terrible.
Okay, what are the
and
things I really need?
You have to adjust your mind because, for example, if you're used to certain brands, right, that are not made here, well, good luck with that because
that's something.
Yeah.
So you mentioned FX. I'm glad you did. So let's dream in these dire circumstances. Let's dream a little. Let's say you're granted $50 million. The FX that you so dearly need. How would you invest it in GAIA's growth?
Oh, that would be. You can see that now brings a smile to my face. We could do so much. First of all, we would literally make sure we have a purpose-built club in Nigeria, right? Which would have external grounds, etc., amongst other things. And
so
then
what do you mean by purpose-built?
So purpose-built. So with this, we have to adapt it, right?
Okay.
So you have to use, and actually, it's much more difficult to what's the word, to remodel than it is to build from scratch. Because when you build, because even when you remodel, there are walls that you cannot break because they are they're weight-bearing walls, for example, right? Exactly. So if you build from scratch, then you actually know, oh yes, this is what we can do, and this is what we want. We want this, we want that, we want high heavens. And then after that, sorry, before that, actually, we would just, first of all, digitize, make sure that we have a fantastic digital platform and all the various things that we want on the platform. And of course, you know, when you expand, you have to expand with more staff, you have to expand with all kinds of different things because we have plans for that.
Okay.
So that will take quite a bit of money. And then we can start to, once we expand on digital, we can then decide what is the next, you know, which are the next countries that we want to go into. And then we can do that as well. But there are many things that we can do. I don't want to give up any secrets.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Because 50 million could come. It could come some way, somehow, and then this will not be a dream anymore.
You know what? Let's even start with 10 million, and that would be already significant. You know, let's 10 million is fine.
Oh, okay.
You know, actually,
Okay.
if I had 1 million,
Okay.
there's a lot that we could do still. So you know, it just depends. It's step by step.
Okay, yes, it is. In addition to all these big projects that you plan to do, are there like ongoing exciting stuff that you want people to know about? I mean, things that are currently happening
that are not secrets that you can tell us about.
No, I'm just kidding about secret, to be honest. You know, it's better for you to put things out in the world because you never know who's listening. But in terms of what we're doing, first of all, we are making sure that we obviously have more members. And we have two categories of membership now. We have one that's called Emerald, and Emerald are generally women who are in leadership, you know, decision makers who have more than 20 years experience. So I think the average is around 30, to be honest. And then we have Ruby, Ruby are senior managers. They're kind of like 2 steps below C-suite, and they are also entrepreneurs who are just starting out. And they have generally between about 10, 15 years experience. So what we would do, so we're trying to, you know, maximize our membership, because obviously the more members you have, the more footfall you have in the clubhouse, and that is how you are sustained as a business. Because if you have an empty clubhouse, it means that you're just, you know, no one's doing anything. You're not sweating your assets. You're not making any money. So yeah, so we need lots and lots of members. And then, of course, we actually had an open day last Saturday or the day before? The Saturday before, where we invited potential members and we gave presentations about what we're doing, and you know, some people wanted to know more, etc. What else do we do? Do you know about our Gazelle series?
Yes, I do. I've attended a few.
Gazelle, yeah, say. Oh, have you? Oh.
Yes.
Huh?
Did
I see you?
I do. I was virtual. The virtual one wasn't the physical one.
Okay. So we're back to physical now. So, so gazelles are, you know, younger ladies who are between 21. It used to be 21 and 39, but now it's basically 21 and 33. And they. So what we try to do is, I guess, mentor in a way. But in a different way, because we generally will have a speaker, or we will have GAIA Africa members around the table. We're talking about something in particular, and then, you know, it's an open Q&A. So and it's lots of interesting sort of connections. And I try to encourage gazelles to, you know, begin to gather their own network as well, because you really can't do anything without people around you. It's just very difficult, you know. No man is an island, as they say. So, yeah.
Well.
And what else? We're doing. I mean, like, we have our usual events. We have lots of events every month. We have things like Up Close With. Up Close With is where we bring a really interesting personality. Our last personality was Chief Nike Okundaye. You know, talking about her story, talking about the birth of Adire. There were so many revelations in there that I just never even knew. We have Gentleman's Thursday, where we invite gentlemen, and we have a gentleman speaker. I think next week is Gentleman's Thursday, and we have Mr. Sonny Roche talking about AI, and you know, going away from AI. You're going to have to, adopt it in some way. So that's what we're talking about. And we have, of course, we have art exhibitions from time to time. Gabi Lagos has its own events. It has things like afternoon tea. It has live music, but I think it's called Smooth these days. Supper club, all kinds of different things.
That seems like, you have quite a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we have a lot. We do.
I
I
think that takes a whole lot of managerial skills, excellence, sort of. To have so many things going on, I'm able to cope and bring everything to fruition. So maybe you can just humor me or us in general. What would you do? What would your first executive decision be if you became a president today of Nigeria?
For one day.
One day.
Okay.
Honestly, do you mean of Nigeria?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe your first decision, or maybe one or two.
So my first decision will be to reduce the cost of governance. Basically, I reorganize it. There are too many people in National Assembly. I'm sorry, our National Assembly is just overpopulated. Yeah. And that would be my first thing. And because, in terms of recurring expenditure, then it's not just overpopulated, but there's just too much money going there every single month. So that's the first thing I would do, right? And then the second thing would be to pass a law to make sure that at least 50% of every leader in every government institution, every leadership, all the decision-making bodies have at least 50% of women in there, qualified women, obviously. We're not saying that we want quota system just to push women in there. There's so many clever women. It's just incredible the kind of women that we have in this country. So, they won't have to search for very long. Did you say 3 things? Or 2 things?
Maybe you can't have one more.
Those are my 2 main things. And then the other thing, I'm not an economist, but I'd have to get somebody to find a way around this currency issue. But actually, no. I think what I would do, no, I lie. What I would do is actually try to find what incentives for industry. We have to go back to industry, because it's the only thing that's going to sustain our currency. The minute we start to make things ourselves, the things we start to export, that is the only way we are going.
The non-oil ones.
Business, I tell you.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely.
So much focus on
industry. There was so much time there was a time that we had, pyramids of groundnuts. There was, we had palm oil. Some countries have come here to take our own things, and they've made a huge success of it where they are. So, we're just so rich with, we have minerals, we have all the things that we need. We just have to be able to use them properly.
There's a saying that Nigeria has no natural disasters. Our natural disasters are our leaders.
Our people, I don't know, yeah, well, I'm glad that we don't have any extra disasters, because I think that we're still, we have so many, we have such trouble just trying to balance. And so, yeah, please, we don't want to, because how will we cope?
Exactly. That's a very noble decision. Yesterday I was still talking with someone about how we focus so much on oil in Nigeria that we are not looking at other industries. We have cocoa, we have groundnut. I was even saying we had some projects in the southwest that we depended on our cocoa, then the projects in the north, groundnut pyramids and the likes. So I really like that decision that we need to empower industries that will actually help our economy.
You have to incentivize. Honestly, we have to find incentives to make sure that people are doing these things. Agriculture, I've heard a lot about the government is encouraging agriculture, but when you speak to the farmers, that money is not reaching them.
True.
So
we look forward to having you as our first female president in Nigeria.
Because why not?
Oh, I don't think it's a job.
You're not looking at that. Okay, so on a subtle plug, you and everyone hopefully knows that we offer company secretarial and corporate governance services to GAIA Africa. So we would like you to share your DCSL experience with us. Any thoughts really on your
Apart
DCSL?
from fighting about fees.
Of course.
Apart from fighting about fees, okay, no. So first of all, you have a great leader, so that's number one. Secondly, you give a very good service, and when you don't, I'll be the first one to tell you, as Tamilore will know. And I like the fact that you're on top of basically everything that it is that we're doing in terms of company secretarial, etc., except for the Abuja problem where we cannot get our filings done because of something or the other. But yeah, it seems that every company is facing that. But no, I'm very happy that we have. The only thing that we can't afford is your executive programs. They're too expensive. So you should give your clients special treatment.
Discounts.
Half price. Yes.
We shall take
exactly.
your feedback. Thank you
Good.
so much.
Take your feedback. Take your feedback back.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. We'll also take our sub. We've taken the sub too. Thank you. We're very grateful for your kind feedback. I would just like take a moment to pause here and just highlight for everyone listening, just to highlight the importance of good corporate governance practices across all industries and entities, including SMEs. At DCSL, we recognize this need, and in response, we have developed a DCSL SME Blue Bundle package. Right? We understand that every business, regardless of its scale, benefits from a solid foundation of governance. So, the DCSL SME Blue Bundle packages are aimed to provide just that. So, stay tuned for more information later in the future, at the end of this session, whichever. So, yes, that's my own side of it. Tofumi, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Did you offer us this blue bundle? Because I don't know whether we were offered
You're
this
on the blue bundle
that you're talking about.
You're on the blue bundle,
we are?
but we haven't crafted
all right.
the name
Okay.
yet.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. But you better let me know what the benefits of this blue bundle are, because I need to make sure that we are plugging into every single thing.
You're sweating the assets, like you mentioned.
Yeah, we want to make sure we're sweating those assets. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mrs. Candide-Johnson, for your kind words and support, and also indulging us on the journey, strategies, and challenges of GAIA Africa. Really appreciate you for doing this with us. Thank you.
Yes. Sorry, Mike. Did you speak to us?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, okay. Well,
No.
that's probably a glitch. So to round off, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jesu. Sorry, Tofumi. Yes.
Tofumi is fine.
That's a very unusual name, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Ma'am, do you want to plug in your Instagram handle or anywhere you want people to find you?
Instagram, right. Yes, of course. You can see I'm not used to this. So you can find GAIA Africa at GAIA Africa Club. GAIA Africa Club on Instagram. Sorry, somebody talking?
I think it was Michael, but his network is having issues. Please go on, ma'am.
Oh, right, okay. So GAIA Africa Club on Instagram, GAIA Africa on LinkedIn, and of course there's Gabby Lagos on Instagram. It's called The Gabby Lagos, by the way, GABY Lagos. And of course, I'm on Instagram as well, but not very active, so don't bother looking for me.
You can look for your LinkedIn.
Okay, yeah, from time to time. I think I'm probably more active on LinkedIn than I am on Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. And to those of us watching out there, remember to check out DCSL Corporate Services on all social media platforms for updates and information on our services. It's just DCSL Nigeria, DCSL Corporate Services on all the platforms that you find, all the social media platforms. Thank you all. All right, I'm going to end the session now.